Okay, vlog is done. We are, okay. Vlog is done. Just fucking ranting about people being stupid. You know, because that dude that was sitting at the table by the pavilion, by the guy's bathroom, you know, was talking about my wanting to talk about my fucking bike and saying, you know, that, you know, there's a good chance that he wanted to either steal it or find out information he could find out on his own. You know, shit that I don't need to tell him. You know, because he's gonna hear what I paid for the bike and how much the bike's actually worth. You know, I lied to him. I tell him what you know, that I paid full fucking price for this bike. You know, full price after tax is like $1,600 and some change with changing some parts out. You know, that's with paying for the extra, you know, the aftermarket parts and having them installed and after tax and whatever. He's like, no, can't be. I'm like, yeah. I tell him the bike alone is $1,400. You know, that's what the bike was worth, right? You know, when it was brand new. The bike got ridden for 4 years, you know, off and on, I think. And the bike was all, you know, for the most part original, except for I think the grips and the tires, because he's gone now, so I don't care if I talk about him. Because I think the guy that got the bike from, the kid, his brother, put the foam grips on and didn't like the tires, so put different ones on. I'm sorry, those juggernauts that this bike came from the factory with, were a lot nicer fucking tire than what these are, because I'm wearing through these already. But also, I think I'd wear through a fucking pair of juggernauts pretty fast, because I do ride every day. If not every day, almost every day. You know, the reason why I say if not almost every day is because of weather. You know, whether it's raining or got a bad thunderstorm or say something stupid like hail or bike left on the sidewalk in front of a house. Cheap Walmart bike, we're good. Yeah. Looks like an old bike that my fucking brother had. Say if it was a, you know, an older expensive, you know, old school BMX, you know, from like the 80s or 90s, I would have took it, you know, and found it and be like, hey, you know, if I wanted to just make a quick sell, you know, make, you know, a couple $100 easily. But then there's a lot of people that are on Facebook, they're like, hey, that bike's stolen, or blah blah blah. I'm like, you can go fuck yourself with that idea. It's not. But, you know, that's not me. I don't steal bikes. I don't steal shit in general. Ooh, that garage needs a new roof. You know, that's not me. I don't steal shit. I just see, you know, what pisses me off is that people leave shit lay around, you know, kids especially, because they don't realize that, you know, if they wouldn't have had you know, cheap Walmart bike, you know, they had a nice expensive bike and left it laying out, you know, I'm very lucky it never happened to me, because, you know, I do leave mine out every now and then, but I leave it out at home. You know, where a camera can, you know, see it, and whatever. So, but what was I saying? You know, but if that was an expensive bike, that thing would be fucking gone. Mine, you know, that'd be mine real quick, you know, metaphorically speaking. Like I said, I told you guys, I never fucking steal. You know, because that's not cool, because I wouldn't want it to happen to me. You know, that'd be really weird anyway, because, or very bad anyway, because my bike, all my shit's all publicly fucking known. You know, granted, yeah, I do leave my bike sitting out at the dollar stores, but, you know, those are pretty public, so if somebody was on foot and seen it, and like, hey, if somebody seen my bike get taken, like, hey, is that your bike? I'm like, no. They're like, put it fucking back. You know, that's what I hope people do. Because a lot of people around here don't give a fuck. I learned that a long time ago, is that nobody cares. I mean, yeah, there is still good people out there, but so I found something about out last night too. So I was talking to an ex-employee of A&W, works at the Pizza Hut across from my store. And he comes and talks to us every now and, you know, whenever he comes to our side of university, because he goes to the gas station next door. You know, he told me one of the closing people, you know, one of the closing crew that worked at the De Pere A&W got arrested. He lives on the section of Smith, or you know, that stretch Smith that I was just on, you know, between Newtalls and Farland Park. I'm like, dude, I go down that fucking street every fucking day. I told him that, you know, because I live in this area, I know that street really well. You know, I know this whole neighborhood pretty decently. You know, I know my street really well, where, you know, people that I know are, you know, because I had an uncle that lived on Preble, on the corner of Preble and Turk. He passed away, so he's no longer there. I got an uncle that lives out by my grandma's, but like 3 miles away. What time is it? 10:41. You know, and then my Uncle Rolly and that Aunt Marcy lived